Mr. Lawler, your math teacher. Happy Friday. Let's begin with a deep breath. Good. That was nice. Now, as you may have surmised, that thumb drive contained yet another episode of our show. But this time, before starting, I would like us all to reflect on some questions with regards to the story that you read last night, How I Met My Husband by Alice Munro. So here's what you'll do now. On my homework for today's class, you will find an attachment called Husband Reflection Questions. Open that document and answer the 5 questions. Be sure to follow the instructions. Then once you answer those 5 questions, you will upload this document to turnitin.com, where the assignment name is the exact same, Husband Reflection Questions. All you have to do is upload it. So be aware that the due date is timed according to your class, so you must do this now. So now, pause the video, open the assignment, fill it out, and upload it to Turnitin. It should take no more than 10 minutes, and then please return to this video. Okay, now that your intellect has been stimulated, take another deep breath. And tune in for the next adventure of our hero.
Previously on The Adventures of Captain Pearson. Captain Pearson was visited in his cell by Kurt Vonnegut. There, they discussed the significance of Kurt's mysterious document, Harrison Bergeron. Kurt freed Captain Pearson from the shadows and took him beneath the ocean, where they observed the bottom 90% of the iceberg and discussed the story's thematic significance. After skyrocketing through the cosmos and learning about Heisenberg and quantum mechanics, they landed back on shore where the savages appeared once again and blew up Kurt with a grenade. Imprisoned once again, Captain Pearson was visited by an apparition of Canadian author Alice Munro, who gave him a new document to read. And now join us for The Adventures of Captain Pearson, Episode 3, Only Fools Aren't Feminists, brah. Man, that was a weird story too. Why do these freaking authors keep having me read them though? Especially if I keep ending up back in here with this dumb guy chained to the wall. Hi! Ah! Oh, it's you. I've come to visit you once again, strange-haired guy, as I sensed you had completed my story. Yeah, you know it. And what initial perceptions do you harbor in its regard? I mean, it wasn't super exciting, but it had some interesting ideas, I guess, such as, well, like, flying, and, you know, feminism and stuff. And what did you learn about feminism, she said. Well, nothing, actually, since you asked. I just thought that's what you wanted to hear. Well, then it would seem that we must have a conversation. Come with me. And once again my shackles loosened, and I was free again. All went black, and we traveled faster than the speed of light, and I landed here. Hello. Where the heck are we? We are in Ontario, Canada, on a farm, just like in the story. Ah, sick. Now, as per standard, please begin with, yeah, I know, summarizing the 10% above the water. I got it, Alice. Good. So, we have this narrator, Edie. Edie?
Hello?
And what kind of narrator is she? First person, duh. And she's living in this farm in Ontario where she works for some bro named Dr. Peebles and his wife Mrs. Peebles and their family. And, you know, because it's like the cool thing to do in Ontario to live on farms and stuff. So the story starts getting fresher when another bro named Chris Waters comes to town. He's like a super cool pilot dude who used to fly in the war, and everyone is amazed at his plane, especially because he gives people rides if they pay him. He needs water, and he sees Edie trying on Mrs. Peebles' dress, which is pretty weird. And she's all embarrassed and all, like, how I feel when I put on dresses. What was that? Oh, nothing. Anyways, this bro Chris, he has a fiancée, it turns out, named Alice. Hey, like you! Was that intentional? How can we know? Writing operates on its own logic. And then, out of nowhere, a man appeared. Rob Schneider! Rob Schneider, what the heck are you doing here? Changing it up, because it's getting boring, so I'll take over from here. See, Alice comes to the farm, and Edie doesn't dig her. Then Edie goes to Chris's campsite, and he says he's leaving. He doesn't seem to want to marry Alice. Then, can you believe it? He kisses Edie, even though she's 15. Gross! Rob Schneider, you're really not adding anything to this. Please leave.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No one likes me. I'm worse than Adam Sandler.
Yeah, so anyways, then Chris says he'll write to Edie, and when everyone realizes Chris is gone, they realize Edie talked to him, and they ask if they got intimate. Edie doesn't know what this means. Well, you know, she doesn't know it means sex. Sorry, it's a scary word. She doesn't know that's what it means, so she says yes. Then Alice gets super mean and calls her the B word, bitch. Ah, gross word. But yes, that. And then this neighbor girl, Loretta Bird, she just loves watching it all. But in the end, everyone realizes they just kiss. And so Mrs. Peebles defends Edie. And they get Alice to leave because no one likes her. And in the end, Edie sits on the porch waiting for Chris's letters. And there, she falls in love with the milkman.
Milkman!
Can you believe it? What a twist! It's like that movie The Sixth Sense. Have you seen it? Where all along Bruce Willis is actually... Okay, you've said enough. Good work, strange-haired boy. Now, come with me, so that we may discuss our next topic. She wrapped her arms around me, and soon...
Soaring so high above the world, never thought I could be so free. I'm one with the birds, and magic is all I see. Oh, look up there!
And look where we landed. Whoa, cool, what a view. Now, she said, can you... I know. Talk about the themes. Look, I get it. No. Can you tell me what this story has to do with feminism? Oh, because the story is really about how Edie hates men and wants to destroy them all? No, not at all. Oh, then how does it have to do with feminism? Because what you just said has nothing to do with feminism at all. But I thought feminism was about women trying to destroy men and take control of the universe like a tribe of Amazon warriors. Yeah, like that. No. That is simply a mainstream misinterpretation of feminism. Feminism at its core means equality. It means mutual understanding. It means balance.
Yes?
It means ridding of the oppressive cages that have kept women down for too long.
Yeah!
Any man who claims those did not exist need only look at the 19th Amendment. Do you know what that is? The one saying the government can access all your data if they want to? No, that comes later. The 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote, and it was only ratified in 1920, nearly 150 years after the U.S. was founded. But wait, this whole story is taking place way before that time. Well, here on Theme Island, we're sort of outside of time, aren't we? Ooh. Oh no, not another physics lesson. No, not a physics lesson, but rather, how about a song?
Rob Schneider!
Well, that was weird, I said. Yes, it was. Perhaps we shouldn't have watched it. Nonetheless, it has us thinking about time as a construct. Which is kind of like a small topic in your story, right? I said. Like that part where Edie goes home after talking to Chris, and she says she's worried the Peebles' car will be back, because she says time felt all messed up. Very good, Alice said. Yes, and why, in this instance, might time be messed up for her? Maybe she was hallucinating?
Ooh!
No. It's more along the lines of she was having a new experience. Often, when we have new experiences, time takes on an entirely different quality. Ooh! Have you ever gone on a trip that you loved so much, and you just couldn't believe how fast it went? Yeah, I said. This one time I took a boat to Asia and went to North Korea, and got put in a prison and brainwashed for days. It was awesome! I love Kim Jong-un!
Hello!
Right. So yes, new experiences can upset our standard notions of time. Sometimes, Things seem to be going faster and slower at the same time. This happens often with a new lover. The two lovers are so enamored with one another that they hardly think of the time. And even though they're so intensely present, just like the scene with Edie and the pilot, they suddenly realize that hours have passed. "Oh," I said, "that sounds nice. I wish I knew about that." "Have you ever had a lover?" she said. "I don't want to talk about it." "I see. But it is important to ask yourself as you adventure. Are you running towards something or away from something?" "Just leave me alone, alright?" Good. Let it out. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean." "It's fine. But can you answer for me? Have you ever had a lover?" "Kind of. But not really. They usually leave me really quickly. They find something about me they don't like. I'm just really awkward, you know? And it stinks. I feel like I never have anything good to say. And when I like a girl, I'm always too afraid to ask her out." She embraced me. "Well, you have a wonderful spirit, and your thirst for adventure is spectacular. We all mature at our own pace. Just keep following your path." We looked deep into each other's eyes. The sounds of the ocean rushed up from the shore below. I felt my lips drawn toward her. "Oh, hey!" I yelled when she suddenly slapped me in the face. "I wasn't talking about with me. Slow down. You'll find someone. But you and I are definite friend zone." "Fine, jeez." Anyways, back to feminism. Feminism is mistakenly understood as the idea that women want to be superior. But no, it is all about equality. Just look at this image of this fellow who played the young wizard boy speaking on the topic. It went viral just a few days ago. Please read to yourself. Okay, so by reading this story of yours, I'm getting better insight into the feminine mind, and therefore seeing women more equally? Good. Now let us look at a few moments in particular to illustrate our points. In paragraph 116, we see great insight into the feminine psyche, yet in subtle and easy-to-miss ways. Edie does not comment frequently on what's happening, but she reacts to it. After Alice meets up with Chris, they depart, and Edie simply says, "I lay awake till they got back." This line suggests how much she is thinking about him, how she can't get him off her mind. She's curious, and when she first described Alice, she said there was nothing pretty about her. We get a sense of her jealousy. Then, in 116, she goes on to talk about how she and her friend, Muriel Lowe, would stay up at night and watch her sister and her sister's boyfriend say goodbye. Then they'd talk about hypothetical situations of feeling their bodies against a man's. See how curious they are? How many new thoughts are going through their heads at this young age? Totally, I said. It's like paragraph 157, after Edie lies to Alice about where Chris is going, and she says, "Women should stick together and not do things like that. I see that now, but I didn't then." It's like the present Edie is looking back on the past Edie. Yes, we have two narrators in a sense. Yeah, and in this line, you can see old Edie critiquing the way women are living. There's a lot of anger between Alice and Edie. Soon after this, Alice likens Edie to a diseased little country tramp who gets pregnant at 14 and even calls her a loose little bitch. And Loretta Bird becomes swollen with pleasure at watching this scene unfold. There's no kindness or understanding here, just jealousy and bitterness. Your perceptions are well-founded, strange-haired guy. See, women can be terribly cruel to one another in very subtle and damaging ways. It took me much time to realize how big of a problem this was, and that it didn't have to be. Now, do you feel we see a change in Edie? I'm not sure. Allow me to share my thoughts. Fine. Toward the end of the story, Edie writes, if there were women all through life waiting and women busy and not waiting, I knew which I had to be. Here, we see a transformation in Edie. We see her taking control. In fact, in this entire final section, we see a transformation. Recall that when she met Chris, she was a shy girl, and he was helping her out of her shell. In the final section, she meets the mailman, Carmichael, and we see her helping him become less shy. Her confidence has increased, she has learned about herself in the process, and her life is directed toward more compassion and more respect for herself. Unlike Alice, she's not content to sit through life waiting, and the final paragraph shows the joke of the whole situation. Because of the title, we, the readers, are sure that Chris is going to become her husband, but in the end, the meeting of the husband occurs in just a small section. It's clear that if this change had not happened in Edie, due to her experience with Chris, this meeting of the husband never would have happened. And in the final sentence, we see how compassionate Edie has become when she says, "He always tells the children the story of how I went after him by sitting by the mailbox every day, and naturally I laugh and let him, because I like for people to think what pleases them and makes them happy." Edie knows that Carmichael went after her, but still, she lets him think what he wants, so long as it makes him happy. She puts herself aside and allows joy to flourish. Yeah! Yeah, alright, haha! And it seems this selfless compassion is part of the feminine ideal that this story argues toward. Man, this sure is a lot of information. And just a bit more, I assure you. Now I ask you, what is one of the biggest motifs of the story? Oh, motif. Kurt taught me that. It's like a recurring element that's physical? Right. Okay, then, flying? Good, yes. And what does it mean? That you take a plane into the sky? At the physical level, yes. But let's go down into that 90%. What might it represent? Well, I guess people are scared of it? Yes. And the priests don't like it, right? Ah! Like, Edie said that 2 priests preached against it on Sunday. Indeed. So the message is that flying is bad? Well, a better way of phrasing it might be, it's perceived as bad. See, when Chris comes to town, people do not understand what is happening. They haven't seen planes. They are terrified of them. And people often reject what they fear. Totally! Like when I started eating raw meat, everyone was like, "Captain Pearson, you're a psycho." They didn't even try to understand it. Right. Yes, so flying seems to represent what people fear. And yet, it is also often the case that people are attracted to what they fear. For instance, notice how in the first scene with the pilot, Edie was too scared to even speak. And yet soon enough, even though she was trying to convince herself otherwise, she was sitting on the deck and cutting vegetables at certain times of the day, trying to be there when the pilot came. She was afraid of him and how he made her feel, but still she felt drawn toward him. Chris, the pilot, comes, and in many ways he represents the unknown. Oh, it's kind of like adventure, right? Expand, she commanded. Well, like for this journey, I was really afraid to go out on my boat, which, by the way, is called the Butt. There were bad storms and stuff, but still I had to keep going. But why? Well, I was attracted to something, to finding something, even though I was terrified of it too. Good, very good. We see this trend manifest with people, with situations. It's an eternal theme. But wait, I said, theme has to be stated as a complete sentence. She laughed. I see you're finally learning. So what might the theme be? Sometimes, we're attracted to what we fear most? Good. Or the line between fear and attraction is thinner than often acknowledged. Yeah! And finally, to wrap it all up, we could say that in the adventurous spaces where we fear to travel, time takes on an entirely new dimension. Yay! I like you. You're cooler than Kurt Vonnegut. I like you too. And I sense that time has come for your adventure to continue. So, why don't you take a flight? Huh? Well, flying represents adventure, right? Adventure into the unknown, even when people warn you against it. Well, your adventure must continue. So now, hop on this plane. What plane? Ah! Oh, yeah! And soar above us all. Yeah!
Soaring so high above the world, never thought I could be so free. I'm one with the birds, and magic is all I see.
Oh, look up
I
there!
learned so much from this amazing woman, and the future felt like an open horizon, until... Margalala! Margalala! Oh no! Ah! Going down!
It looked like it was all over. Back to the dungeons again. Just kill me, I said. I can't take it anymore. I can't... Ha ha ha! Out of nowhere, a man appeared with a sword.
We must fight, he yelled. We must transcend these abominations. Then, after an epic battle, he killed the savage. Hurry, my boy, he yelled. We haven't much time. More of them await. Who the heck are you? I am Swashbuckling Pete? No, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow? Shut up! Shut the heck up! I am Stephen Crane! Stephen Crane! Oh, never heard of you. I am a writer and a voyager of the sea, and we must go. There is no time. Go where? Home. My ship awaits. But it's dangerous out there, I said. What if we don't make it? Would you like to continue sitting here, pondering the indifference of nature, to contemplate the lonely and indifferent shore, the fact that you are useless in nature's eye, as it rises against you? Will you not look back on your life with regret and think of all the ways you could have been better? Oh, you mean like that story with Scrooge? No, I mean like Nietzsche! Eternal recurrence of the same! Yah! Rah, 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 rah. Hurry, come with me! And the savage, hot on our tail, we ran onward and leapt aboard his ship, the Commodore. Like this. Leap, leap, leap. Here comes the savage. Rah, rah, rah. Oh, rah. Oh, and then we sailed against the mighty surf into the dim horizon. Rah, 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 rah. But our elation was scarce. For though we'd escaped one peril, we soon discovered that we were face to face with a new peril, the stormy sea. We fought, and Stephen Crane, our captain, showed no fear. But our vessel, much like mine, the Butt, proved too weak, and it was soon sunk and destroyed by the mighty sea. Ah! The lifeboat! Crane, the captain, yelled. Correspondent, get the lifeboat ready! But I don't know how, I yelled. I don't even want to be here. Damn you, oiler, the lifeboat! Then some other guy called the oiler deployed the lifeboat, and desperately, we all got on. Row! Row! Here we were, in a lifeboat no bigger than a man's bathtub, staring the mighty forces of nature head on. Would we survive? There was no telling, but Mr. Crane's mind was keenly observing each moment, and he told me, Correspondent, if we come through this, I will write a story about it, and it will go in your chapter, whether you survive or not. And thus his promise was founded. Would Captain Pearson, captain of the sunken Butt, and cook aboard the sunken Commodore, survive his final plight against the mysterious forces of nature? Or, after all of this, would he find himself drowned in a mighty sea? Read Stephen Crane's The Open Boat to find out, for it tells the tale exactly as it occurred.
Oh man, killer cliffhanger. So it sounds like Stephen Crane made Captain Pearson the cook on his ship, the Commodore, but the Commodore sunk. And then it sounds like they had a couple other people on board too, like an oiler and a correspondent. So what's going to happen when they're out there on the lifeboat against the forces of nature? I mean, are they going to sink? Are they going to flourish? I don't know. Looks like you'll have to hang on that cliff for some time now, because as it turns out, you have no homework this weekend. Come to class next Monday, ready to read The Open Boat. That's what you're going to read in class on Monday, where you'll see at last the fate of Captain Pearson and Stephen Crane and company. And be sure to remain attentive to theme, of course. Now, I hope you've had a good week and enjoyed these found documents from this strange, mysterious, trench-coated man who for some reason delivered these to me at all the right time. But that's enough for now. So until next time, adios, compadres.